Cameron and Ulea have a lot in common.
He even wears makeup.
Maybe too much in common.
Cover-up on, and he has a compact with powder.
But she and her blind date shared something too.
She liked beer, and I like beer. Cameron always orders girly drinks.
Meanwhile, Cameron had a flashy blind date.
My top kind of went up over my head.
Looks like she's used to it.
And he showed that he's all man.
Do you order any kind of girly drinks?
Long Island iced tea isn't girly.
Will he still be her undercover lover?
He even wears makeup.
Or have a change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. Let's meet our couple today. They met working in the same hotel, and it wasn't long before this darling divorcee was giving this blushing bellboy her own version of room service every night. And you know what I'm talking about. However, after 6 months, they're starting to feel a little like they're in the Bates Motel and wondering if it might be time to check on out. So please put them together for Cameron Simpson and Ulea Potts. Welcome to the show. Ulea, I want to start with you because you guys are here because you wanted to give Cameron a wake-up call. Is the problem that he's hogging the sheets or what's going on?
He's smothering me.
Smothering you?
He tries to take over my ex-husband's job. He comes in the house, he takes his pants off.
I want to spend time with her.
Takes his pants
She's
off,
my girlfriend, and I want to hang out with her.
sits in his boxers, turns the TV on, grabs a drink, uses the phone.
Well, I guess the problem is, well, Cameron, you're maybe getting a little too comfortable too quick. Maybe keep the pants on. That might be one.
I come over, I get a little comfortable. I'm usually waiting for her to get ready at that point, so I'm kind of occupying my time, getting comfortable.
Even though she wants you to back off a little bit, does she still at least tell you that she cares about you?
The only time Ulea expresses feelings for me is when we're having sex.
Well, that's not a bad time. But if that's the only time, I guess it's a problem.
I'm constantly leaving her verbal cards on her voicemail telling how much I care about her, how much I miss her, when I can't wait to see her.
He passes out those I love yous like they're candy.
I wish she would do something for me once in a while, just to kind of show me that she thinks about me.
So, Ulea, you're saying that you don't believe it? It's not sincere because he does it all the time?
It's too much. It's too much, too soon, too fast.
If once in a while I would get something, I mean a meal, something that made me feel special, I'm sure I wouldn't be doing it so much.
All right, Cameron, sometimes you know what, though? Sometimes it's more than just words. What about physically affectionate? Is she that way with you?
If Ulea could put up a force field around here so I couldn't touch her, she would.
A big beam, you just couldn't get in.
Big force field so I couldn't touch her. I try to give her a hug, she runs away. You know, I try to touch her.
When
I come over, I knock on the door. She'll unlock the door and won't even open the door. She'll run upstairs.
Ulea, what is going on?
I'm waiting for a hug. A nice greeting, something, you know. But
yeah, usually people greet at the door and hug and hello.
He's just surprised the door's locked.
Merely a hello. I'm not looking for a hug or...
Now, Ulea, I understand you have a 3-year-old. Is 3-year-old?
Yes.
And do they get along together?
Oh, they get along great. He's more immature than she is. It's like having another child around.
Taking care of both of the kids.
I've never gone out with somebody and not been able to be goofy and have fun and just be
myself. Now, for example, what might he do?
Ulea's...
For example, we were in a nice shopping area. We were going down the escalator. He pulls the alarm bell, and bells, whistles start going off. People are looking at him.
And he stops the escalator.
There was no
and
scene.
He acts like
it wasn't a big deal. It was funny.
Lies about doing it. Thinks it's
not a
funny.
Big deal.
People are staring at us.
Now, Ulea, if he's acting like that in public, does he not care what people think about him?
Oh, he definitely cares what people think. He is so insecure. He even wears makeup.
Makeup?
He has perfect skin, but he puts cover-up on, and he has a compact with powder.
It's not cover-up.
A little cover girl.
He's so insecure about his hair. He thinks that his hair is thinning, so anytime I make any comment about someone else, he gets totally offended.
Negative.
And it's so not, it's not thinning, it looks
Ulea will
great.
never say anything good about me at all. I'm constantly telling her how beautiful and how nice she is.
All right, Cameron, let me ask you this question, because from what I'm hearing here, it sounds like it's Cameron.
No.
Cameron, pay attention. Question for you. Cameron, it sounds like she's kind of pushing you away. This is what I'm getting from this conversation. What actually keeps you with her?
Everything with Ulea is definitely better. We have a good time together. She's absolutely beautiful. And she has a darling 3-year-old daughter that I just adore.
So that's good. And Ulea, something there for you. Obviously, you're putting up with, whatever's going on.
Yes, he's very sweet, and I know he'd do anything for me, and he's just really great to me.
So you do have some good chemistry and some good moments. So, Ulea, coming on Change of Heart, though, what is it you're hoping to get out of the show?
This is the first guy that I've dated since I got divorced, and just wanted to see if this is who I'm meant to be with, and even if we stay together, at least it's opened up lines of communication for us.
Let's hope so. Okay, let's see if we can accomplish at least that for the two of you. Now, up next, find out why Cameron's date ended up topless. We'll do that next. Hang on. Cameron Ulea. Now, Cameron says that Ulea is as snuggly as a pit bull, and she needs to take Stevie Wonder's advice and just call to say I love you sometimes. So we set him up with a touchy-feely filly who says that sweet talk won't make her balk. Please hand out some lovin' for Katie Lawson. Hello, Katie. Good to see you. Cameron. Ulea, let me ask you, do you think Katie likes to be touched?
Looks like she's used to it.
All right, Cameron, so we fixed you up with Katie. What'd you think of her when you first saw her?
On first, Katie is absolutely beautiful. She has the most beautiful blue eyes and great legs, and just look, she had a smile on her face. She's ready to go have fun.
And you were very excited, I guess. And Katie, could you tell that he was happy with what he got?
It was love at first sight. He was whooped on me right away. He bought me a card, a Cosmo magazine, and flowers.
Which he took from my house to give you, by the way.
Well, I still got it.
That's great. You're lifting her magazines to
A
take
man
out on a
does what a
date.
man has to do.
Now, Katie, you have the card with you, actually?
Yeah, it has little change of heart.
Oh, look at the smiley
faces on it. And it says, "You deserve a flower as pretty as you. Since we have not met, I picked out the most beautiful one."
And so then he brought you a flower,
How could
too.
you not appreciate
I get
something
those
like
all
this?
the time.
How can you not appreciate it?
See, there's the difference. Ulea says it's all too much, and she doesn't really think it's sincere. So this is new for you, Katie. You guys went to a water park, is that right, for the date? Mm-hmm. And how did Cameron look at the water park in his bathing suit?
Really good. He took off his shirt and he was totally cut, six-pack. He looked really good.
All buffed out?
Yeah.
Now, Ulea, does he work out a lot, to look like that?
Yes, in fact, the morning of, he spent an extra hour at the gym beforehand, knew he was going to be in a
Maybe the
bathing
additional
suit.
hour I would have taken anyways. I'd rather lift weights than
It
just lift
paid
food all
off.
day. Period.
Yeah, she obviously didn't mind at the water park what she got to see, I guess. Good. Now, Cameron, what about Katie while you were there hanging out? Did she get her hands all over that?
Actually, within the first 5 minutes, she's actually between my legs. And it was fantastic. We were tandem on an outrageous water slide on this inner tube. All the way up the ride, she was holding on to me. She was rubbing my shoulders. She was kissing my back. It was awesome. She really showed affection. It was great.
Right? And Ulea, how do you feel about the fact that, he was getting all this attention from Katie?
That's exactly what he wants.
So that worked for him, then you're okay with that?
Well, he does have a girlfriend.
It was very nice to actually have someone pay attention to me and actually make me feel like I was special.
Now, Katie, you're doing all these things physically to him. Was he returning the favor?
Yeah, he was massaging my shoulders, kissing me back like she meant nothing.
Now, Cameron, we know how Ulea feels about all that touchy-feely stuff. Let's say, though, that you were with Ulea at the water park and you were doing all these things. How would she have reacted?
Even if I even tried to approach her, hold on to her, I'm too hot, I give me some space, and I'll meet you at the bottom. That would have been it. I wouldn't have been able to even come near her throughout the whole day.
I'll meet you at the bottom. Now, Katie, I understand there was at least one embarrassing moment while you guys were at the park. What happened?
I went down the slide and I didn't expect it to be that strong of a force, and my top kind of went up over my head.
And that's how you ended up topless.
I was a little embarrassed, but he spent the rest of the day so nobody would look at me.
Cameron, it sounds like you guys were in perfect harmony pretty much for the most part. Any disagreements along the way?
We actually, all day, we got along really well. There were no issues. She wanted to do what I wanted to do and do the same
It's the first
things.
date, of course she's going to agree to everything.
It wasn't her way or the highway. And with Ulea, it would be exactly that way. And if I made a suggestion she didn't agree with, there'd be a cloud over the whole day.
Now, Katie, after you guys left the water park, you dried off and went on your way. Did you get wet again?
Yeah, we went back to his house and I showered, and when I was putting my makeup on, he was showering in the same bathroom when I was doing my makeup.
That's an
Wanted to
interesting little
utilize
moment.
both mirrors.
And how do you feel about that little moment they shared?
That's typical Cameron, all over, first date.
Cameron, so you
Cheap
guys,
shot.
after you cleaned up there, what was the plan after that?
We actually went to a really nice restaurant right along the coast with a great view, and didn't really look at the view too much. Wasn't really an issue because I was basically looking at Katie throughout the whole day.
You had another view in mind, I guess.
Didn't want to take any attention off of her, actually.
Mm-hmm. And Katie, any talk of Ulea come up while you were hanging out?
Nothing positive at all. It was just that she was mean, and the only thing good about the relationship is sex, and he was just basically talking about what a big teddy bear I am, and he doesn't want a chance losing me.
Very affectionate. Katie was very affectionate.
So, Ulea, here we are again. I keep coming back to you just to get a little reaction about some of the things that were going on in this date, just to see how you're feeling.
That's exactly what he wants.
And it doesn't surprise you at all, I guess?
Not at all. He
Okay.
was the exact same way. In fact, we basically went to the same first date almost, you know. Same touchy-feely.
Now, Cameron, we know you were touching all day at the water park. There was a lot of that going on. What about at the end of the date?
We actually had a very nice kiss. She kissed me exactly the way I wanted to be kissed. No teeth, but just enough tongue.
Oh, not the way I
make it
kissed.
very nice.
Not, okay.
Katie, if you were hanging out with Cameron for a long time, do you think you'd feel smothered the way Ulea does?
No, not at all. I mean, he has a lot of love to give, and I mean, I just feel flattered by it. I don't know. I mean, you don't know what you have until you lose it.
Yes. And Katie, what about after the date? Did you get any type of message from Cameron?
He called and just said how it was the best date ever, and that I'm the princess he's always waited for.
That's a lovely nickname for her, by the way.
Princess?
Yeah.
Very fitting, I thought.
Yeah.
Immediately
All right.
came to mind when I saw her.
We'll see what happens from here because we haven't met Ulea's date next. So hang on. Now, up next, Ulea's date. How about this? Pearl necklaces, girly drinks, and tonsil hockey? We'll find out what that's about next. Hang on. On Cameron's date with Katie, now we're going to meet the dude that we delivered to Ulea. Now, Ulea says being in a relationship with Cameron is just way too smothering, so we set her up with a stuntman who says he needs 3 feet of personal space. So please give it up for Abe Brown. Abe, good to see you.
Hey.
Let me start with you. Do you think Abe worries about the way he looks?
Not apparently. It doesn't. Not too apparent immediately.
Now, Ulea, Cameron brought Katie a magazine and a card. Did Abe bring you anything to read?
No, he didn't want me reading. He brought flowers and a bottle of wine and a pretty pearl necklace for my daughter and toys.
Yeah, screw learning and reading. Let's go ahead and get drunk today.
That's a little bit better. And Ulea, what about you? When you first saw him, were you happy with the way he looked?
Oh yes, he's definitely my type. He was dressed really nice. Cameron has 3 articles of clothing: a white t-shirt, jeans, and black workout pants.
I'm partial to white shirts. I have about 12 of them, and I wear them all the time, and I like them.
Now, Katie, Katie, what was Cameron dressed like when you met him?
3 articles of clothing.
White shirt and black workout pants.
Okay. So I guess we're accurate about that. Abe, what was the first stop on the date?
Well, we went to this restaurant that she said her and Cameron loved to go to. It was a blast. I mean, they were like waiters singing, dancing, running around.
At least either of us weren't original. I mean, that's.
You know, like I said, it was great. I mean, they were running around like
both restaurants. I'm sure was better.
That is a little odd, though. You're going to a place that you and Cameron always go to. Was it weird being there or strange being there without Cameron?
Oh, not at all. It was a nice change. Cameron always embarrasses me when we go out. Has to argue with them over the table's not right, the food's not right. He always drives the waiters crazy.
I like us to be comfortable where we're seated.
But Abe was a little more flexible with whatever was going on.
Didn't give the waiters a hard time, didn't make us change seats.
Now, Abe, when you guys were hanging out, what's the first thing that came to mind that you had in common with Ulea?
Well, you know something? She liked beer, and I like beer. And, you know... Yeah, I mean, she told me that Cameron always orders girly drinks when they go out. And she said the waiters make fun of him. I could see why, though.
Long Island iced tea.
Now, Katie, let me go back to Katie for a second. When you guys were out, did he order any kind of girly drinks?
No, I mean, Long Island iced tea isn't girly.
Not technically, okay. Abe, while you guys were hanging out, did Ulea give you any kind of insight into Cameron's personality?
She did. I mean, I came away with feeling like he was probably a little boring and never showed her a really good time. But I never had any problem with that, you know.
Not the kind of guy you are. Now, Cameron, here he is.
We always have a good time. We're always doing stuff and being active.
Yeah, but Cameron, his impression was that you're a bit of a bore.
Well, we're doing a little bit more outdoorsy thing. Definitely not alcohol, maybe physical things versus just basically partying all the time.
Ulea, what about, did you find out about Abe's social life while you guys were hanging out and talking?
Yes, he has a couple professional football friends, some soap opera star friends. He wanted me to meet them. Cameron, on the other hand, I haven't met a single friend the entire time we've been
He
together.
wanted to show me off to all of his friends.
Well, that's a little
We
odd,
were going
Cameron.
to stop by on the way back because a friend of mine was having a show and I really wanted them to meet Katie right after our date. In between, it was tentative. We really didn't have time to do it, but
Now, Abe, what about the two of you? Ulea claims that she never gets to go out with Cameron for the most part. Where else did you take her?
We went to this place, had a really good time, had some drinks, really good conversation. The atmosphere was awesome, actually. You know,
notice the
it's just-
drinks. I mean, we're
we
very
had a great
centered around
time.
We have a
drinks.
lot in common.
Well, they're belting back a couple of beers together. And they're
We had
hanging out.
we had a ton.
We
in
didn't
common,
need
though.
anything to loosen up. We were just having a great time together throughout the whole day.
Abe, what kind of place was this that you're describing?
Well, we went to this place. I mean, it was like a dance club, but while we were there, we started to realize we didn't see very many girls, you know, and and so we saw a bunch of guys, and we thought maybe we had stumbled into a gay bar accidentally.
you
Well,
guys
the good
stayed
part
or
about
did you
that,
leave?
Abe, though, is you wouldn't have to worry about the
So they
guys
went ahead
hitting
and
on
stayed.
Ulea.
No, of course not. You know, I wouldn't have been worried about that, but I heard Cameron gets a little insecure, and you know, he's real paranoid, asking like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm just like, "Me? Hey, I know I got it going on."
So pretty confident about the way things are going.
Ulea actually pays a lot of attention when we're out together. She's not looking at any other people.
Well,
But,
Abe, I gotta ask
mean,
you. I gotta ask Abe how he wrapped up the date.
Well, we took a walk down to the beach, which was very romantic. We sit and whispered a little bit, you know, into each other's ears, and then I took her back to her place and walked her up to the door, and she had these kiss me eyes. So I asked her if she'd mind if I gave her a goodnight kiss, and
Ulea, we're kind of, waiting for the answer. He asked for permission for it. What happened?
Well, we kissed for about 10 minutes.
Oh,
It was nice and sweet.
Again, that's a very
Open
typical
mouth.
Ulea first date. Actually, I believe that'd probably be cut a little bit short.
yeah. And Cameron on the first date, was it like that with him?
Yes, he was all over me. He wasn't. He looks at women for one purpose, and it was nice to go out with someone who respects women a lot more.
So you felt there was a big difference between the
Yes.
two of them,
I
even
act-
if it was just based
If
on
we're
the
talking
first
about
dates.
respect, I
And-
actually do
and-
treat women with respect.
And Abe, well, tell us, Abe, how was the kiss for you?
hey man, our lips fit together like a puzzle piece.
So I'm thinking that was pretty good then.
Oh,
Ulea,
man.
would you say it was that magical?
Oh, definitely. It was sweet, and it was soft. It was open mouthed.
I'm looking at him right now. I really would love to give her a kiss right now.
Ulea, any drawbacks about Abe that you could pick out?
Other than the kiss, it was a little bit more platonic, and he was a little more timid and a little too polite. I missed a lot of Cameron's romance.
Okay, well, you can't have it both ways, I guess. Will a 10-minute makeout
Cameron's
marathon
boring
help
romance.
Ulea make up her mind? We're going to find that out next, so stay tuned. Cameron and Ulea. Now, Cameron's not feeling like he's getting enough out of this relationship from Ulea, but Ulea says that she feels like he's asking for too much, and that's why we have this problem. Ulea, we're going to get your decision first. You're recently divorced, and you're worried about your future with Cameron, basically. We sent you out with Abe. You had a great time on your date. It was a very romantic thing. You had some kissing at the end going on there. What do you say?
Well, I had a great time with Abe. He's definitely my type. I feel Cameron tries to replace my ex-husband sometimes, and I hope he's learned something about that from the show, because I'd like to stay together.
Stay together. Abe, sorry things didn't work out for you. Cameron, we're going to get your decision. Ulea says she wants to stay together, and it is obvious that you do have some feelings about her, but you're not feeling you're getting that in return from the relationship. You did say you felt like you got that from Katie, so what's your decision, Cameron?
Katie really made me feel good on that date. She made me really appreciate having someone that actually wanted to spend time with me and genuine, so I'm going to have a change of heart.
Change of heart. All right, Katie, does that work for you? Okay, she says it does. Well, hopefully, Ulea, you guys have learned that, you each were pushing, but it was in the wrong direction, and hopefully, Ulea, in your next relationship, you'll be somebody out there much better suited for you. And Cameron, good luck with your new deal there. All right, that's our show for today. Thanks to Ulea and Abe, and good luck to Cameron and Katie, and we'll see you next time on Change of Heart.